what feels truest to me, you must also have a powerful way of engaging the fearful side of development, the loss or imagined losses that are inherent in the whole project of leaving behind a whole way of knowing oneself and knowing one's relationship to the world, all of which has to undergo a kind of, maybe it's too dramatic to say a kind of death before a rebirth to kind of evoke, Christian metaphors, but some kind of dramatic shift, which is initially experienced as a loss. And I think what feels truest to me is the need to be holding on, not just to the miracle of development, but to a bit of the agony of it and our need to be as responsive to that as we are cheerleaders for people coming into a bigger or more evolved sense of themselves.
This ties so much into the immunity to change, our stuckness, right? And the fear of losing that status quo is in its own way a death. I think you're worried about the death of a relationship or your influence or your trajectory in your career, or
yes, or the nature of your loyalties, and whether you'll still be known and accepted within a community that has understood you, and that each stage of development is, yes, I mean, it is a way of composing knowledge, it is a way of making meaning, but it is also a social contract. It goes on in a social world. And Erickson's original insight that we need to take a psychosocial perspective, I mean, I think he almost invented that term, I think is so true, that you need to hold on to both the psychology, the individual developmental journey, but it can never truly be well understood without simultaneously and dialectically holding on to the social dimension of it, that this developing always goes on in some social context. So changing yourself, growing in the ways that you make meaning, always involves having to renegotiate a kind of social contract, and that can be perilous. It can feel like a death. It can feel enormously difficult.